being in a positive mental state of mind, I believe one should have a feeling that he can thrive whatever he wants to do. He's contented within himself and he's fulfilled.
Because personally, मेरे लिए my mental state of mind, my mental well-being is uh, directly connected to my work, my relationships, my all of my decision making and my physical health as well. यार मैंने भी पर्सनली तो ऐसे बहुत सारी चीजें काइंड ऑफ नई चीजें सीखी है, बट टू कंपाइल इट ऑल आई से कि I've learned to take care of myself and make myself a priority. Or philosophically, I've had the realization that the ultimate duty for me is towards myself and living my truth. उसके बाद ही मतलब मैं कुछ कर सकती हूँ.
Hello everyone, welcome to Reviewed. So in these tough times of COVID-19 pandemic, we are coming up with series on impacts and challenges of the COVID-19 pandemic. So in the very first part of our video, which is the video is already out, you can find the link in the description. We have talked about problems in the society, the things that we have faced in society, the collective and the social issues, the problems in our health infrastructure, the problem in our education sector, the problems faced by our migrant laborers COVID pandemic. But in the second video, we are talking more about personal issues. From first video, we have talked about what have we faced as a society. In the second video, we are going to talk about what have we experienced as an individual. So to talk about our individual and personal issues, because pandemic में हम सबको कोई ना कोई issues रहा in terms of professional life, in terms of professional loss, professional gains, in terms of our mental health and wellness, our family relationships and other issues. So to talk about this, we have invited two guests in our second video of Reviewed. I invite and I welcome Antriksha Bhandari. She has done her graduation from University of Delhi and she is doing great on YouTube. She is making video on mental and physical well-being. You can check her videos out. The link is in description. Our second guest is Mudit Mathur. He is doing his graduation from University of Delhi and is very vocal about issues of mental health and physical well-being and lifestyle. So first things first. Let's assume that there are only two categories of people. The one are the extroverts and the one are introverts. एक होगा विकास जैसा, जिसको हम 4-5 बार कॉल करते हैं, कहीं मिलना होता है तो सर से अपॉइंटमेंट लेना पड़ता है, 4-5 दिन पहले उनसे बोलना पड़ता है कि सर मिलते हैं अपन, तब जाके वो घर से बाहर निकलते हैं, नहीं तो वो अपने काम में बिजी रहते हैं. दूसरे होते हैं शायद थोड़े मेरे जैसे कि तुम मेरे घर के बाहर आके घंटी बजा दोगे तो भी मैं आ जाऊंगा. So let's assume कि दो तरह के लोग हैं, थोड़े introverts and थोड़े extroverts. So where do you personally belong? And according to that, how did you find the period of lockdown and pandemic? Please share about your experiences.
The year 2020, the entire pandemic, बहुत एक intense time period रहा है. So I don't think anybody has, मतलब either introverts or the extroverts, anybody has enjoyed the period per se. As for me particularly, I would say I identify myself as an ambivert. I mean, I thrive with people. I'm always a people's person. I thrive in that environment, but I take my time to get recharged and I'm a bit particular about preserving my energy. But I think more of a challenge for me in the pandemic was that our work was paused. So a lot of things started to resurface from my past. मतलब हम लोग busy हो जाते हैं काम में and we think कि हमारे बहुत सारे issues या कोई pain रहा हो past का या जो भी kind of setbacks थे, we have overcame them. लेकिन ऐसा मतलब पैंडेमिक जैसे ही स्टार्ट हुआ, आई स्टार्टेड टू रियलाइज कि बहुत सारे चीजें जो मैंने काइंड ऑफ निगलेक्ट करी थी, बट वो कहीं ना कहीं रह गई थी एंड इट वाज अफेक्टिंग माय वर्क, माय मेंटल हेल्थ, सब चीजें काइंड ऑफ नेगेटिवली अफेक्ट हो रही थी. सो देयर वाज अ लॉट ऑफ पेन एंड ग्रीफ इन द एटमॉस्फेयर. सब कुछ इंटेंसिफाई आई वुड से होता गया एंड द फर्स्ट हाफ ऑफ 2020 वाज a really tough and struggling phase, to be honest. But we have to sit with our pain. We have to relive all those moments and वो kind of forceful भी था because of the pandemic. But एक अच्छी बात ये थी that I did not have to rush through the process क्योंकि हम लोगों पे इतना time available था because of the lockdown. So during the second half of 2020, surprisingly, I've had a lot of breakthroughs with my personal journey. तो आई वुड से
Okay.
पर्सनली वो बहुत एक मतलब पर्सनल ईयर रहा है मेरे लिए 2020. इवेंचुअली आई स्टार्टेड सीइंग इट एज अ ब्लेसिंग. एक बहुत ही ट्रांसफॉर्मेटिव एवोल्यूशनरी ईयर था मेरे लिए.
I completely agree with what Antariksha said, that it was a tough year. But to see it from the lens of being an introvert and an extrovert, I must say that we all are connected through human connections. We all are existing with talking to people, interacting with people, and socializing. So be it introvert or extrovert, it doesn't matter, because I mean introverts are also they're also speaking to people. They must be speaking to less number of people, but they speak to
Less number
people,
of people.
and they somehow they are containing the energy that they didn't let out during all these years, and it can affect their existence, because extroverts, they can go out, they can socialize. They had those happy Zoom hour calls in which they called people, called friends, called relatives, and conducted Zoom calls where they talked to people. But again, they could not go out to places and spend their time alone, because introverts generally have a habit of going out and enjoying their me time. They want to do activities in their own personal space, but also
खुद से
have
बात
some
करनी
people,
है.
and have some important people around them. So it must have been
Right.
hard on them. For me personally, I completely concur with Antariksha that I am also an ambivert. I find my own personal time for some time in a day and do my things. But I also want to go out and meet people, have a meal outside, and go to places, go to college, meet friends, meet the people whom I want to. So yeah, it was a tough time, and for every one of us, seeing the world around suffering, it must be tough for everyone. And we all had a pause in our life. We all did not do things according to what we planned earlier. So yeah, I mean,
अच्छा, अपन ने अभी इंट्रोवर्ट्स और एक्सट्रोवर्ट्स की बात करी, तो दो टाइप के पीपल होते हैं, तो इनकी जो डेफिनेशन होगी हैप्पीनेस की वो भी डिफरेंस होगी. मतलब किसी को स्लो पेस पसंद होगा कि भाई सुबह उठो, कॉफी के साथ एक स्लो शुरुआत करो, धीरे धीरे काम आराम से, और एक हेक्टिक शेड्यूल वाला, मतलब कि हर एक काम टास्क खत्म हुआ नहीं और नेक्स्ट टास्क शुरू. तो मैं एज अ पर्सनल हेक्टिक वाला पर्सन, मतलब मुझे एक शेड्यूल चाहिए जिससे मुझे ज़्यादा सोचने का टाइम नहीं चाहिए. तो व्हाट्स हैप्पीनेस फॉर यू, मतलब क्या मेंटल वेलबींग आपको मिलता है इस चीज से?
being in a mental state of positive mental state of mind, I believe one should have a feeling that he can thrive whatever he wants to do. He's contented within himself and he's fulfilled. In this time, in the time of corona, many were not contented, because again, as we spoke in the earlier question, that for extroverts, they did not go out, so they were not contented with how they were socializing. And for introverts, they were not contented with the fact that many people are around them and they are not having their me time. So being contented is a big parameter of having a positive mental state of mind. I mean, I was reading the other day about a tennis player named Dominic Thiem. He's a Australian player. So he won the previous Grand Slam in the year 2020. But even after winning the Grand Slam, even after achieving such a big success, in January and February, he was suffering mentally, because he was not enjoying his success, because he had no one to share with. He had no crowd in the stadiums to, who cheer for him. So he took a break. He took a sabbatical for a while, and now he's returning after, reading and thinking whatever he wanted to think, whatever he wanted to do, enjoy with the family, enjoy a me time. So mental wellness and mental positive state of mind for me would be when somebody's being allowed to thrive in an environment they want to and do whatever they want to easily.
Loving what you do.
Yeah.
I cannot even begin to uh, tell you ki how much your mind can restrict and hinder you from living your best life, from living your dream life that's possible. So, because personally, mere liye, my mental state of mind, my mental well-being is uh, directly connected to my work, my relationships, my all of my decision making, and my physical health as well. तो अगर ये kind of in a correct state of mind अगर मेरा यहाँ से नहीं है, तो that negatively affects everything. So for me, mental wellness is a kind of, I would say, is a means to living a more fulfilling and joyful life. It's very, one of my topmost priorities, I would say. The thing I would say is celebrating little joys and not chasing happiness, not attaching it to a certain achievement or something, and being really mindful of your present life.
Meditation, if you do, that's the best source for mental well-being. If you are facing any anxiety or any type of issue, just do meditations. I mean, 10 minutes a day can help you a lot.
Yeah, everybody has their own methods of coping, and it's just that the environment needs to be facilitating for you to cope. In times of COVID, nobody knew how to deal with it. I mean, there was no sort of a SOP as to how to deal with it, how to find your own time and do things. I
So
mean,
let's now move this discussion to the use of social media, because हम सब ने देखा कि when we were in isolation, starting के जो months थे lockdown के, and subsequently पूरे pandemic में, because we were homebound, social media का एक बहुत important role था, because we were able to connect with people, we were able to talk about our personal feelings, we were venting out, we were talking about our personal opinions. कोई डालगुना कॉफी बना रहा है तो वो भी दिखा रहा है, कोई कुकिंग कर रहा है, जो भी अच्छा लग रहा है, तो वो सब लोग कर रहे थे, बिकॉज वो अच्छा लग रहा है, that is very okay and that should be done. हाँ, and that should be done.
but at that
On the
moment,
other hand,
nobody knew
the
what
use of
was going to happen. That dalgona coffee was looking good, but I'm not able to digest it right now.
मैंने इसलिए ट्राई भी नहीं करा.
Same.
Yeah, go
मैंने
on.
भी नहीं करा.
Apart from this thing कि social media हमें engage रख रहा था और हमारे लिए एक channel था to vent out our feelings, on the other hand एक information overload भी हो रहा था, because it is also triggering panic in people, because जितनी भी COVID related news आ रही थी, जितनी भी फर्टिलिटीज की न्यूज आ रही थी, उसमें बहुत सारी फेक न्यूज थी, बहुत सारी एजेंडा बेस्ड न्यूज थी, एक पर्टिकुलर कम्युनिटी को या फिर पर्टिकुलर लोगों को टारगेट करने के लिए न्यूज थी. सो और बिकॉज सोशल मीडिया को आप देखोगे तो इतना पोलराइज्ड है, आज हमेशा ए वर्सेस बी चलता है, कोई सब ब्लैक एंड व्हाइट में चीजें देखते हैं, कोई भी मिडिल ग्राउंड पे या ग्रे एरिया में कोई चीज नहीं देखता है. सो इतने पोलराइज्ड एनवायरनमेंट में जहाँ पर इतनी इंफॉर्मेशन मिल रहा है, कुछ गलत है कुछ सही है, लोगों की एंग्जाइटी ट्रिगर हो रही है. So at this time, how do you balance the positive and negative effects of social media? Personally, how did you manage to walk this neat line? Personally, how did you do that?
Yeah, I would say कि एक बहुत important चीज है that we should be realizing कि we have the control over technology and it should not happen the other way around. We just say कि एक daily basis में we just have to train ourselves and realize कि there are people out there who benefit from it, from creating chaos amongst public. और फर्स्ट तो हम जाते ही हैं बिकॉज वो इतने प्यार से एक तो सजा के रखते हैं उस न्यूज को, इतने सारे टेम्पटेशंस होते हैं, लेकिन वही है स्लाइट रियलाइजेशन, स्लाइट डिसिप्लिन कि इट्स ओके टू बी इन्फॉर्म अबाउट वेरियस थिंग्स बट वी शुडंट गेट सक्ड इनटू दैट नेगेटिविटी. मेरे लिए आई विविडली रिमेम्बर कि लास्ट जून में व्हेन सुशांत न्यूज वाज आउट, एक पर्सनल लेवल में आई वाज अफेक्टेड, लेकिन आई डिडंट रियलाइज कि कब वो डे बाय डे because of media, because of everything that was happening, it kind of worsened my personal state. So by July I had to really like make conscious decision और अपने offline मतलब मुझे हट के पूरा अपना offline routine बनाना पड़ा, कई सारी चीजें change करने पड़े अपनी उसमें ताकि I maintain that distance. तो वो conscious efforts हमें लेने पड़ेंगे and वो discipline का रोज daily we have to kind of train ourselves कि हम उस चीज में ना फंसे, उस नेगेटिविटी के बबल में.
सोशल मीडिया हमेशा मुझे लगता है कि कन्फर्मिज्म का ही बहुत प्रेशर रहता है कि जो दो कैंप्स हैं, अगर आप में से आपने किसी एक कैंप में कन्फर्म नहीं किया तो यू आर आउट ऑफ डेट. तो वो सुशांत सिंह का जो अंतरिक्ष में अभी केस बात करी, द सेम हैपेंड टू मी, बिकॉज सबके अपने ओपिनियंस थे वहां पे, क्या हुआ, कितना हुआ, क्या क्या उसका इश्यूज हुए, उस बबल में फंस गए थे कि यार हम किस कैंप में.
And also social media, you could find things on social media that were not supposed to be out. So that is also an ugly implication of social.
I think according to me the more important question is how difficult will it be to be normal again, मतलब कि how difficult when we are going to meet people, so will there be a loss of connect with those people, या फिर भीड़ में आने से सोशल एंजाइटी होगी, या फिर फॉर एग्जांपल हमने जिस तरह से डिस्कस किया कि जो इंट्रोवर्ट्स होते हैं वो अपने शेल में ना चले जाएं, मतलब पहले भी वो इतना ज्यादा ओपन नहीं थे, शायद कम लोगों से बात करते थे, तो अब इतना लॉकडाउन के बाद या फिर इतना आइसोलेशन पीरियड के बाद क्या वो अपने शेल में चले जाएंगे, will they be more less willing to talk to people. So how difficult will it be to be normal again?
So I want to answer this question in the fact that there will be some sort of an anxiety in socializing again, because we've not been meeting our friends, we've not been meeting people in general since a long time now. So meeting people and interacting with them would be a difficult task, especially for introverts, and especially for people who have not been exposed that much. Also, there will be a fear factor in your mind every time you go out, because the thing has not gone down. So there'll always be a paranoia in your brain that, can we get exposed to the virus. So that will always create a sense of an anxiety to you. So yeah, socializing will be tough.
Let's now move forward to our professional lives. मतलब पेंडेमिक में हम सबकी प्रोफेशनल लाइफ में काफी हद तक एक डिसरप्शन आया है. सबके प्लान्स थे कि यार 2020 में ये कंप्लीट करना है, 21 में मैं यहाँ हूँ, 22 में मैं अपने आप को वहाँ देखना चाह रहा हूँ. सो इतने डिसरप्शंस होने के बाद I'm I'm hoping that our audience will able to relate to your professional losses or gains during this pandemic. So now I'm taking you back to March 2020. So March 2020 में जो आपके करियर प्लान्स थे, कितने हद तक अफेक्ट हुए हैं ड्यू टू दिस पेंडेमिक या ड्यू टू दिस लॉकडाउन?
एज अ फाइनल ईयर स्टूडेंट तो ऑब्वियसली हम लोगों के सारे ही प्लान्स थे, चाहे घूमने का ही हो, चाहे ब्रेक लेने का हो, चाहे जिस तरह के भी प्लान हो, वो सब कुछ कैंसिल आउट हो गया था. तो शुरू में तो काइंड ऑफ एक्सेप्ट करने के लिए बहुत टाइम लगा था, बट आई थिंक मिडल ऑफ द पैंडेमिक में मैंने वो फैक्ट एक्सेप्ट कर लिया था कि अनसर्टेनिटी वाला पीरियड है, तो इतना सब कुछ ऑलरेडी चल रहा है, तो फालतू का स्ट्रेस वो ऐड ऑन करने से नहीं होगा. अभी भी कमिंग 1 ईयर अहेड, अभी मार्च 21 एंड अप्रैल 21 में भी आई हैड सम थिंग्स प्लान्ड आउट जो कि नहीं हो पाई, क्योंकि अनफॉर्चुनेटली हम एक वर्स कंडीशन हो गई है 1 साल बाद. तो वही आई थिंक वो स्ट्रेस मैं तो अभी पर्सनली नहीं ले रही हूँ, क्योंकि अनसर्टेन टाइम है. मैं बस द थिंग फॉर मी इज कि एक बिगर विजन जिस तरह मुझे हेड करना है इन आवर लाइफ, इन माय लाइफ, तो वो काइंड ऑफ मैं फिगर आउट अभी एक शॉर्ट कर रही हूँ. बट इन टर्म्स ऑफ गिविंग स्ट्रिक्ट टाइमलाइंस टू आवरसेल्व्स, वो मुझे नहीं लग रहा है कि वो प्रैक्टिकल है, क्योंकि हमें अभी पता ही नहीं है कि कितने नेक्स्ट 6 मंथ्स कहाँ जाएगा, 1 ईयर कहाँ जाएगा. So I'm taking it day by day personally though.
Many things have happened. I mean, we have adapted to many new things. So we must have learned at least one on new things, one activity that we have picked that we want to. I mean, obviously 1 year was big timeline, so we must have learned something. So what was that one activity or that helped you to somewhat come out this as an alternative? I mean, not get distracted from this lockdown or this like
Not just
change the perspective of your meaning of life for you.
Yes. Any perspective or activity
Yeah,
that
so
works against?
see, initially during the lockdown, when people were doing cooking, people were doing all sort of things, and they were sharing it on the social media. Suddenly there were people who were book lovers. Suddenly there were people who were environmental lovers and environmentalist, gardening and all. So I did the same. I was into cooking and I was into interacting with friends and doing gardening and all that of stuff. But then there are certain things which I learned philosophically in life. I learned how to be minimalist, how to manage myself within restricted resources, within restricted things, because I was happy to buy things from my nearby store, from my nearby general store, and I was happy from purchasing there and eating whatever I got from things. I did not buy any clothes, I did not buy any gadget. So otherwise I would have bought in the normal due course. I would have gone out to a store, bought a shirt, bought a jeans, bought a shoe. So that would have happened. But then I learned that all the things that I have right now are sufficient for me to be happy. One thing that I want to add is that me and my sister did not spend much time in the last 6 years, because we both were out, and when I was there she was not there, and when she was there I was not there. So we got to share the same space and we reunited again.
Yeah, I'll tell you, मुझे तो also learn gardening. अभी इसने काफी अच्छे इसके गार्डन में टमाटोज और भिंडी और बैंगन उग रहे हैं. आज ही इसने फोटोज दी थी मुझे.
Yeah, so we have a kitchen garden in the backyard. We are growing things, we are eating what we grow. That's a good thing.
Subsistence.
Great. Yeah.
Healthy habit.
यार मैंने भी पर्सनली तो ऐसे बहुत सारी चीजें काइंड ऑफ नई चीजें सीखी है, बट टू कंपाइल इट ऑल आई से कि आई लर्न टू टेक केयर ऑफ माई सेल्फ एंड मेक माई सेल्फ अ प्रायोरिटी. और philosophically I've had the realization that the ultimate duty for me is towards myself and living my truth. उसके बाद ही मतलब मैं कुछ कर सकती हूँ. So I'm gonna take that ahead with this.
And one thing which every one of us learned is the appropriate terms of health, appropriate medical terms. We all learned. Nobody knew efficacy.
मुझे
Nobody knew quarantine.
nobody knew quarantine.
Quarantine, efficacy, pandemic.
इतना बेसिक वर्ड था ये.
Yeah, so
क्वारंटीन नहीं पता था
that,
भाई.
that was one thing which I learned,
Correct.
which cannot be missed.
Guys, big question. I mean, अपन ने अभी एक्टिविटीज की बात करी, तो ऐसा अपने सबके साथ है कि काफी टाइम से अपन को एक एक्टिविटी जो इतने सालों से करनी थी, स्टिल वो लॉकडाउन में नहीं कर पाए. तो if you're back in March 2020, I mean, how differently could you have used this pandemic? I mean, what is that one quarantine guilt you have that still activity you couldn't do?
या टू बी ऑनेस्ट हम लोग एक पैंडेमिक से गुजर रहे हैं, तो आई डोंट थिंक किसी को भी ऐसे गिल्ट में रहना चाहिए. इफ यू आर सेफ, इफ यू आर हेल्दी, इफ यू हैव बीन टेकिंग केयर ऑफ योरसेल्फ, तो इट्स मोर देन व्हाट वी कैन आस्क फॉर. ईयर वाइज बात करें, 2020 एज आई हैव ऑलरेडी टोल्ड यू एक बहुत पर्सनल ईयर था. तो 2020 में तो एज सच आई डोंट थिंक कि आई काउंट एनीथिंग एज अ गिल्ट फॉर मी. इनफैक्ट कुछ चीजें बल्कि मैंने एज एन अचीवमेंट ही मैं उनको काउंट करूंगी, भले वो फोर्सफुल थी और इंजॉयबल नहीं थी, बट वो एक ग्रोथ प्रोसेस थी, तो वो इवेंचुअली आई काउंट इट एज अ ब्लेसिंग. एज फॉर 2021, अभी एक दो महीने से आई वुड से हैड अ बिट ऑफ अ लेड बैक एटीट्यूड. थोड़ी अनसर्टेनिटी फिर वापस आ गई थी, कुछ प्लान्स थे, कुछ रूटीन था जो आउट ऑफ रूटीन में गई. तो 1 year डाउन द लाइन laziness could become a quarantine guilt, but abhi tak to I'm not considering it.
Laziness is a lifetime guilt.
Yeah,
Okay.
I feel quarantine guilt to me. I have no regrets because I've still not been infected. I'm still away from COVID. Nobody from my family, nobody from my near ones got infected, and they all are safe. We are all on good terms, and we existed through this peacefully. So that is a big positive for me.
So thank you so much. Thank you, Antariksha. Thank you, Mudit, for being part of this video, for sharing your personal experiences during lockdown and pandemic, and how did you cope up with this. And I'm sure our audience जो ये सब देख रहे हैं थोड़ा बहुत रिलेट कर पा रहे होंगे, जो सिमिलर इवेंट्स उनके लाइफ में हुए, सिमिलर डिलेमास जो हम सब ने फेस करे हैं. एंड आई थिंक हम फिर भी बहुत प्रिविलेज्ड पोजीशन पे हैं, जो कि हम शायद थोड़े अनस्केथ निकल गए इस पूरे पैंडेमिक से, बट आई थिंक a large chunk of our population जो सोशियो इकोनॉमिकली भी वल्नरेबल है, शायद उनके लिए ये इफेक्ट बहुत ज्यादा रहा है. तो थैंक यू सो मच फॉर टॉकिंग टू अस. एंड इट वाज अ न्यू आइडिया बिकॉज हम थोड़ा सा मेनली डिबेट, इन्फॉर्मेटिव डिबेट्स करते थे, बट वी हैव ट्राइड दिस न्यू थिंग कि हम लोगों से बुला के बात करेंगे. सो टू आवर ऑडियंस, इफ यू लाइक दिस, then please tell us about it in comments. If you have any stories, any experiences in the pandemic, something that you have faced, something that your family have faced, please drop it in the comment box. Please stay indoors because the second wave of coronavirus infections is deadlier than the first one. So the best you can do is to stay indoors, to make people around you safe. Try to get vaccinations whenever you are eligible, and take care of everyone with you. So with this, we are ending this video. I hope you have watched our first part of this video, which is the social problems. If you haven't, the link is in description. Keep supporting us. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.
Thank
Thank
you
you,
for
guys.
having
It's
us here.
wonderful speaking and listening to you all. Please do
Like,
not forget to
subscribe,
like.
share.
अरे इसको वो कर लेते हैं ना भाई, इसको वो
Thank
कर
you so
लेते हैं
much.
कि like, subscribe, share